Sorry, I'm a little bit late, guys. We had some issues this week. My husband was working in our yard doing some upgrades. As a lot of you know, we are fully home renovating our house. And when he was out there digging in the yard, he hit the gas line. So we haven't had gas all week. Plumbers are here right now. My husband, amazing husband, dug the trench from our house to the main so we can get it upgraded, and the plumbers are here now. So we will have gas. Look, I didn't even set up my light yet, guys. All right. I'm going to make a coffee this morning. I've been super busy this morning, putting lots of fires out and doing a lot of that kind of stuff, you know. So here we are, not prepared for a live, but I'm here anyway. That's just how life goes sometimes, guys. Wow, did you see that? That made me look really orange. There we go. Put a little light on the machine here so you can see what we're doing. All right. It looks like Cruz was on here before I was. He actually made it here a little early, and he said, how do you prepare a steamer? I'm assuming you mean a steamer without coffee. That's my assumption. To prepare a steamer, it is the same way you would do any coffee, except for you're not going to add coffee. So if you want like an eggnog steamer, for example, I do half eggnog, half milk, and then I steam it with the steamer wand, just like you would for a latte. If you want to do like a vanilla steamer, it's the same thing. You would steam the milk with vanilla, and that would be a steamer. So it's basically, a steamer is basically just a latte, but without the coffee. Anyway, as you guys know, the month of November, we're doing a giveaway. This month, KJ's Wood and Clay made this beautiful cup, handcrafted, beautiful blue cup. That's going to be in this giveaway. And the Wachota blend from Round Mountain Coffee. So if you haven't entered for the giveaway yet, please make sure that you do that. I am trying to put a link everywhere. If you can't find it, just go to my website, www.freeandontheroad.com. And there's a link at the top for November coffee giveaway. I'm really excited. I already have December's partner. I'm actually partnering with another coffee shop in December, Artistic Bean. So you'll have to keep an eye on that so you can check into December's giveaway. I am so excited for all the support that I've had from coffee shops and people and everything helping grow my channel. And I really appreciate all that support. It's been a roller coaster ride trying to keep the balance of doing all of my lives and YouTube and being a mom and homeschooling and all the other stuff, especially as the holidays are coming. I'd like to do 3 lives a week. Realistically, I'm probably going to be doing 1 to 2 lives a week just because I have a lot of things going on in my life. I'm sure you guys understand that. This morning, I'm going to go ahead and make a coffee, and maybe we'll do some deep dives into some of the coffee. I want to talk about coffee trends this week that have happened in 2025 and things to look for in 2026. So if there's something that you wanted to bring up or talk about, we can do that. Otherwise, I am going to make myself a latte this morning. I actually already had a double Americano, meaning I had 4 shots of espresso because I did 2 double shots. So I already did a double Americano this morning, but I would like to have a latte now. It's been a few hours, you know, so it's time. It's time for that. I did not make sure I had any of my stuff here this morning because I was in the middle of dealing with more life issues and I totally spaced getting it. So I'm going to grab my portafilter from over here. I'm going to grab my cup. I have this really cool cup that I really love. I got this one from KJ's Wood and Clay also. She handcrafted this for me. This is my little cortado cup. It's only 4 ounces, so it's like perfect for a cortado. And what else do I need, guys? If I'm making a latte, well, or cortado, I need my milk. So I'm going to grab the milk. So I'm here. I'm just walking away because my camera doesn't move automatically. You know how that goes. I just want a basic cortado. No flavors for me this morning. I have the Pinnacle blend from Round Mountain Coffee in my machine this morning. This coffee is really, 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 really good. So that's what I have in there this morning. I'm going to go ahead and warm up the machine and the portafilter and all that fun stuff. Get that warmed up. I'm just running a shot of water through the portafilter right now into my cup, so it'll warm up my cup and my portafilter and my head. Good morning, brewer. I'm slow going this morning. You know how that is. I'm sure all of you know how that is when life kind of like takes you. One of my kids had a birthday this week, and we got them this really cool wagon, and so they're outside playing with the wagon. They're pretty excited about that. So I'll probably be out there later today hanging out with them in the yard because we only have 10 million leaves to pick up. Anyone else have 10 million leaves? I don't know. I mean, I love having a treed-in yard, but man, the amount of leaves that we have to rake. My husband helped me. I think it was a week and a half ago. He helped me. We got all the leaves cleaned up around the house. He brought in one of his tractors and he helped me get rid of all the leaves. And then 2 days later, we had a freeze. And I think there's twice as many leaves in the yard now as there was before. So good times, good times. All right, I'm just making a cortado. I have the Round Mountain Pinnacle blend in my grinder. Go ahead and get that ground up. Like I already said, I had a double Americano this morning. It was spectacular, by the way. I drink my Americanos black. I don't add anything to them. I don't know about you, if you guys drink your coffee black or not, but I love the taste of coffee. So I drink my Americanos black. I feel like my cortados, that was not quite enough, so I'm gonna grind a little more. My cortados, I feel like are kind of more like a dessert to me, even though I don't add flavor to it. So my cortado, I'm just gonna do a double shot of espresso and then 4 ounces of oat milk. And that to me is more like a dessert drink. But my Americano is like my go-to daily drink. So anyway, I got this new tamper. I think I showed you guys in the last live, but I absolutely love it. It's self-leveling. I don't even have to work out to use it. It just like goes right down. It's even every time. Look at how beautiful it is. All right. I got my little shield. I'm just going to dump this in the sink because I don't want to fill my water thing up. I put that shot of hot water in my cup so I could get it nice and warm because I like my coffee nice and hot. You guys like your coffee nice and hot? My girlfriend, she always says I make it too hot, but I like it really, really, really hot. So I have to tone it down when I make it for my friend because she doesn't like it quite as hot as I do. I feel like it cools off so fast though, so if you don't make it really hot, you have to drink it really fast, and I drink my coffee really slow. All right, I'm just going to pull that shot manually like I normally do. We'll do 7 seconds of pre-extraction and then let that shot pull. Beautiful shot. I've found that since I've been using this new tamper, my shot pulling has been way more even. So I guess it does make a difference. I know when you have to tamper manually with this one, you pretty much just have to give it a good press. But with this tamper, it does it for you. And I'm telling you, it has made a big difference. So look at how beautiful. I love when the shots come out so pretty. I mean, it smells so good. That Pinnacle House blend has a nice, I think I can really taste the pecan back flavor in that one. It has a nice, like, nutty flavor in the back. I don't even know what I'm looking for, guys, because I'm like, I was not ready for this live this morning. All right, I need my milk jug. That's what I need. I guess I'll use my mini milk jug. I'm not as good at steaming it in this mini milk jug. I bought this mini milk jug because I thought I'd be better at steaming it in the mini milk jug, but I actually think I'm better at steaming it in the big one. We'll see today if I can get any good steam going. My son is better at steaming it in this mini milk jug. Me, not so much. But I think the big one's in the dishwasher, and I already have you guys here, so I'm not going to go grab it. Just waiting for the steaming wand to warm up. So Cruz had asked how we do it, how we do a steamer. A steamer is basically just any drink that you would do with espresso, but you don't add the espresso. So depending on what flavor steamer you want, that would be what you put in the milk. So when I do steamers for the kids, I actually add the flavor directly to the milk. So it warms it up, because I keep a majority of my syrups in the fridge. And so then that way it heats up the flavoring as well. But if you don't care for it, like if you don't care if it's super hot or not, you can put the flavoring right in the cup and then just pour the milk over it. It would work the same way. I'm getting a little foam here. We'll see if I can actually foam it up. Sorry, I have to focus. I can't talk and focus at the same time. Of course, I forgot a rag too, so I'm gonna have to go grab a cloth and all of that stuff. I'm normally so much better about being prepared, but like I said, we have no gas in the house, so I had to my schedule is messed up. I have to when I work out at the gym, I have to shower at the gym, and so then my whole morning schedule's messed up because I'm not used to that. I'm used to coming home and doing all my stuff at home. So, but that's all right. They're going to get it fixed today. Glad I didn't pour the water in there. My thing's already turning red because my water's full. All right, it looks like I got a nice microfoam here. I don't know how well I can pour from this mini jug. I haven't done it. Woo! Here goes. I've been really practicing slowing down a little bit with my pours, and I still feel like I pour too fast. Oh my gosh, guys, look at how beautiful that is. Can you see it? Can you see how pretty that is? That was a pretty perfect one. I wish I would have recorded that, because I try to record at least one good one a week, and I think that was the best one I did all week, but it's not recorded now. It's only on the live. You guys get to see the most beautiful latte art I have made this week. All right. Now the real stuff. Oh, so delicious. It is just a perfect, I don't know what it is about the oat milk. I never used to like oat milk, or never drank oat milk. And then I went dairy free, and I tried all the alternatives. I did coconut milk and almond milk and cashew milk and macadamia milk. And I went through all the alternatives with the machine because I was trying to see which ones would foam the best. And then I went through 4 different oat milks, and I finally found this Oatly, this one right here. This one steams the best, Oatly Barista Edition. I did try some Barista Editions of coconut milk, and they did not foam as well. And I tried some Barista Editions of almond milk, but almond milk has a funky texture to it. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but I feel like almond milk has a funky texture. This is super creamy. And super, super good. All right. Do you guys want to talk coffee trends? Is there anyone here that wants to talk coffee trends? So one of the biggest trends is that coffee used to be a habit, and now coffee is more of a hobby. Have any of you taken up coffee as a hobby, kind of like I have? It's actually the worst part about taking coffee up as a hobby is that you almost have to drink coffee more than once a day. So when I used to just make it like a single cup of coffee in the morning with my AeroPress, that was great. I would just have a cup of coffee in the morning. But now I've made it a hobby, and I have a lot of fun doing latte art. I actually make some of my friends come over so I can make them coffee just so I can practice my latte art. I sometimes wish I had a coffee shop so I could make a whole bunch of coffees back to back, but I don't want the tie down of a coffee shop. So I digress. Anyway, so I do have friends come over that I make lattes for, and sometimes I will make cortados for, and things like that, so that I can practice my latte art in them. So that is me and how I've turned it into a hobby. I don't know about you guys, what you've done to turn coffee into a hobby, but I know it's become a trend. And in 2025, they've seen a big uptick of people that are doing coffee more as a hobby than just a habit. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts about coffee habit versus, let's see, start a poll. I don't know how to do this, guys, so we're going to try coffee, habit or hobby. Okay, let's see what you guys say. Habit. How do you spell habit, guys? Habit? If I spell it wrong, then don't blame me. And hobby. I've never done this before, so here we go. Viewers can vote. Okay, did I do it? Start poll. Did that work? Okay, I think that worked. Okay, so I put up a poll. If you're online right now, I put a poll up if you think it's habit or hobby. So put your vote in. Got one vote for hobby. Okay, let's see what we have. For me, I enjoy trying different dark roasts with different brewing methods, pour over being my favorite. I actually really do enjoy having a good pour over as well. I haven't done pour over in so long. I think for me, it's only because I got this espresso machine and I've been having so much fun making espresso and latte art with it. See, we got 2 votes for hobby, 100% hobby so far. All right, and Cruz says, my hopper is empty. Finished my 2 bags already. I do like 2 or 3 a day. See, that's my problem. This morning when I don't normally make coffee before I head out in the morning, but this morning before I left, I made myself an Americano. And when I make an Americano in my to-go cup, I think it's 16 or 20 ounces. So I have to do 4 shots of espresso. So I pull 2 shots. I pull one and then I pull the other and then I fill it up with hot water. So I ended up having 4 shots of espresso this morning. But then, now I wanted to make one for fun. So here I am on technically coffee number 3. And I think today's Friday. So Friday normally comes in. And then I have to have coffee number 4. All right, so we have, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, but they say, planning to buy a machine. What would you like to recommend? Lillette, Anita, or Breville? All right, so I don't know enough about Lillette, Anita to know if it's better than Breville. There are a lot of machines out there besides Breville. I had done a lot of research before. If you've been following me, you know my story. My story is I put this in my Amazon cart, hoping that somebody would buy it. And somebody in my family got it for me for Mother's Day. So, all right, I'm going to turn the poll off. How do I turn the poll off, guys? Drag here to end poll. I'm going to end the poll because it's in my face, and I don't know how to move it off my face. Is it in my face when you guys see it, or is it in the bottom? There we go. We got 3 votes, 67% hobby, 33% habit. Yeah, I've only used a Breville as well, brewer, so I can't say one way or the other. But I did do a lot of research before I put this in my Amazon cart to get it purchased for me. And for the money, see, it covered my face, so that's why I turned it off. I don't know how to use all these things, so I figure I should start practicing while I'm doing these lives, and then you guys can decide if it works or not. I know there's like the question and answer thing in the bottom. Maybe that's how I should have done it. We'll try that another time. Anywho. Yeah, so I did a lot of research on the Breville Barista Express. There are other machines that I want. There are machines that cost a lot more than this one. But I think as an introductory espresso machine, if you're willing to invest into good beans, the Breville Barista is definitely a go-to for me. So I can't tell you about another machine because I haven't used it. But I can say that any espresso machine that you get, you have to be prepared to not use commercial coffee. That is the biggest thing. That is the biggest thing I would say is we have to be using fresh roasted coffee in our espresso machines. I think when you do a pour over, it is a little bit more forgiving for using like a bean that's a little bit older. Even when you do cold brew, it's a little bit more forgiving. So like if I have a bag of coffee that has been open for a while, a lot of times I'll take that leftover coffee and use it for my cold brew or use it for my AeroPress. But when you're putting it in your espresso machines, you have to make sure it's fresh. I know there's like, my son is very scientific and he would tell you all these scientific facts of why and how the CO2 works and all of that crazy stuff. I don't know any of that. I just know it pulls your shot better, you get a better crema, and it tastes better. There you go. There's my coffee know-how. No scientific jargon for me. All right, couple other trends. Let's see. The rise of specialty coffee shops. Have you guys noticed in the last year how coffee shops have changed from just a basic coffee shop to a specialty coffee shop, to where now when you go into a coffee shop, they have like they'll do a pour over for you, they'll do espresso for you, but they pull it and they make sure it's actually specialty coffee. They use fresh roasted coffee. They're putting more intent into these coffee shops now. Have you noticed the trend in that? I've definitely seen a trend. I am very picky about what coffee shops I go to, and there are still the standard coffee shops that aren't very specialty or niche, for example, but there are a lot more specialty coffee shops now than there ever have been. So, I mean, I was just thinking, no wonder why Cruz asked about a steamer. His hopper's empty. Make sure you enter into the giveaway, Cruz. Maybe you'll get a free bag of coffee to help fill your hobby. That made me laugh. All right. Let's see. I've also noticed chains like specialty chains like Starbucks and things like that. People have gotten tired of it because it's not as good, and they're going to specialty shops. I have the Bambino Plus. I heard is actually really good, but I don't have that machine. If my light is moving, it's because Bob, my vacuum, is moving it. That's just, he likes to come in and move my light around. See? I don't know if you can see that. He just turned the whole light. Stinking Bob. That's what we call him. Anyway. Okay, another trend. I don't know if anybody has noticed this trend is adding stuff to your coffee like mushrooms or even protein. Have you jumped on the bandwagon of that trend? I know that trend's really big this year. I actually have a friend that she bought the mushroom coffee and she tried it and she's like, well, it's not too bad, but it's definitely not coffee. So have you tried that trend of like either doing mushroom coffee, or I know a lot of people are doing like collagen in their coffee to make it a protein coffee. I do collagen every day, but I do not want to wreck my coffee. I like my coffee to be pure, so I do not put protein in my coffee. I'm a very purist when it comes to coffee. I like black Americanos. I like cortados. My guilty pleasure is a pumpkin spice latte. That is my guilty pleasure. I do pumpkin spice this time of year. And my second guilty pleasure would be an eggnog latte. During the year, I don't do a whole lot of flavors. Sometimes I do my golden tea. You guys see me do like a golden tea or whatever, but I don't do a whole lot of flavored coffee. I don't like extra stuff put in there. All right, let's see. You tried mushroom coffee a few years ago and didn't like it. I did not like it either. I have a friend that she put her mushroom coffee into her coffee, and she said it wasn't as bad, but I personally don't like it. I tried to switch to mushroom coffee at one point because I was trying to cut back on caffeine. That didn't work. I tried all of them. I tried dandelion coffee. I tried, there was another coffee I tried. I can't remember, but I tried a whole bunch of different ones to try cut back on caffeine. It didn't work. It didn't stick. Here I am drinking my cortado, and it tastes amazing. Anyway, Sometimes I'll put a scoop of protein in coffee. What kind of protein do you put in your coffee? Do you put basic like collagen, or do you put flavored protein? I do have, I have a coffee flavored protein that I do as a protein shake sometimes, but I don't normally add coffee to it. I normally take my protein powder and I just make it as I mix it with almond milk and just shake it up, and that's my protein shake. But I don't add coffee to it. I think when I drink my coffee, I just want to enjoy my coffee. I honestly am so full after I drink coffee. I don't know if I could do protein at the same time, but that's just me. Coffee makes me full. I don't know if you feel that way at all. I mean, I did that double Americano this morning and I was actually still pretty full, but I was like, I scheduled a live. I guess I have to make a cortado. So I'm suffering through it for you. All right, Brewer says he uses flavored chocolate mint buck protein. That actually sounds really good. A chocolate mint. It wouldn't be good hot though, huh? I would think just cold. It would be better as a cold, like an iced coffee type of drink. I don't know. I remember one time I tried to make protein. Usually do it before a hike. See, that makes a lot of sense. That's a really good way to have a flavorful coffee before a hike. I don't think that proteins would be good in a hot drink unless you did collagen. I feel like when you have like that whey protein, it gets kind of chunky when you heat it up. So whey protein is better. Even some of the pea-based proteins are better. They're better cold than hot. I tried one time doing like a hot oatmeal with my protein. No bueno. Anyway. All right. I had a couple other trends here I was going to talk about, and I actually printed it out this time because I am so bad at staying on track, guys. I have like the worst squirrel brain in the world. I like literally will be standing here and be like, squirrel. So if I go off topic, that's just how I am. All right, the other huge trend that has been trending up this year is precision kettles that promise the perfect pour. So if you do a pour over, I'd be interested to know this. I have a kettle. And my kettle is it's not a precision kettle, but my kettle does have different temperatures. So I can do a different temperature for my pour over or for my matcha. I do matcha sometimes. So I do have different temperatures on my kettle, but it's not necessarily like a precision kettle, I don't think. Maybe it's considered one because it has like 6 different temperatures on it. But do you use just a regular boiler, or do you actually boil it to a certain temp when you do your pour overs? Because I do think the temperature of your water can make or break the flavor of your coffee and how it blooms the beans, right? So like if you have a pour over, let's say I do my temperature between 190 and 200 for my AeroPress, and if it's within that range, I feel like it extracts the flavor the best. But if it's too hot, it doesn't have the same extraction. And if it's too cold, it's obviously not going to get those beans hot enough. So I don't know. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's been a big trend also, seeing people getting or trying? I know I've seen a lot of it on Instagram. A lot of people are showing like those precision kettles versus just a regular kettle. Yeah, so that's one of the other trends. I had 14 trends, but I don't know where they all went. I think I lost. Use a temp controlled kettle, different temp based on type of roast. Exactly. That's what I was just trying to say, but you said it way better than I did. I just didn't do good wording it. That was a perfect way. That was exactly what I was trying to say. See, you took the words right out of my mouth. All right. The next big trend, this is the last one I'll talk about today, only because I have my plumbers outside and I got lots going on today. I am helping Cruising with Kevin edit his next video for this Sunday. If you haven't checked out my husband's channel, make sure you do that. If you like cars, sometimes I hop in on his channel. Not this last time. I was behind the camera for him, but he got a cool, see, squirrel. Here goes a squirrel. He got a cool C10 truck that's like 4-wheel drive, and he decided to 4-wheel drive through our yard, and one of our kids, it scared the pants out of her, so she refuses to get back in the truck again. But our other kid, he thinks it's the greatest thing ever, and he wants dad to take him rock climbing in this truck. So anyway, there was my squirrel moment. Back to coffee. The other trend is that home baristas, which I am guilty of this, are making coffee better at home than in coffee shops. Anybody else feel that way? I feel like this past, I feel like since, okay, how am I going to word this properly? So I always knew I had really good coffee at home when I used my AeroPress, right? I already knew that. Then I got the Breville Barista Express, and I actually learned how to pull a shot properly, like a proper shot, like an 18 to 36 gram shot at 30 seconds. Well, you know, between 28 and 35 seconds, like in that range. And I really realized how good a shot of espresso can taste. Like there's a lot of coffee shops I couldn't just drink a doppio, but at home, if it's pulled properly and it's the right espresso, I can definitely drink a doppio. So realizing that sometimes our coffee at home, I'd say for me, 9 times out of 10, our home barista setups can actually be better than a coffee shop. And what's interesting is that these coffee shops are using machines that are like hundreds of thousands of dollars to make our espresso, right? But yet my machine right here that I spent, I don't know how much I spent on it because I didn't buy it. I think these machines are about $500 if I'm correct, but about $500 for the machine. This includes the grinder. I do eventually want to upgrade my grinder. I know I'm going to end up having like a huge setup eventually. My husband is already looking for me to try some new machines, so I'm super excited about all the new things that he's like trying to show me to try. But anyway, see, I digress. Squirrel. Anyway, I find that since now I know how to pull my shots properly and I know what coffees are good, I actually have better coffee at home. And if you have watched my channel or been part of my Instagram for the last couple of years, you know that I've done coffee shop. Like I tour coffee shops and I go in and do reels and stuff like that, or shorts for coffee shops. And I have visited, I actually looked over this year and we had probably gone to about 100 coffee shops this year. And I'd say out of those 100 coffee shops, about 5 of them stood out to me. Like they were actually really good coffee. And those are the people that I've partnered with. So one of them was we talked about this before, like the Cutbow Coffee in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Obviously, Round Mountain Brewing, they make their coffee spectacular in-house and they have good roasted beans. This Artistic Bean actually doesn't even have a coffee shop. The one that will be our giveaway for December, they don't even have a coffee shop. All he does is roast specialty coffee. That's all he specializes in. And so I couldn't tell you how his coffee was pulled. He used to own a coffee shop, but they had to have so many employees for it. So he actually downsized and only does roasting, and that's what he specializes in. And their coffee is amazing. It's spectacular. I actually put it in the machine this weekend to try it. I put it in my grinder this weekend, and my son was like, "Oh my gosh, what did you put in there? It's so good." So it is a really good coffee. You can definitely taste the difference in it. I think that was it for trends. Unless anybody has anything they want to chime in on that I missed. I know there's a lot of trends for commercial coffee, but I don't really keep up with that. I know that the Specialty Coffee Association and the Cup of Excellence have merged this year. So we'll kind of see how the specialty coffee industry goes now that it's one organization. I think that's a huge transition for the specialty coffee industry. I love to see how the industry is changing and the education is expanding. I am very excited. I would like if you followed me, you know I'm trying to get my Q grader. So I've done tests already, learning more and more in depth about coffee and things like that. But I'm excited to see where it goes as far as education and educating people on this specialty industry. So anyway, all right, let's see what we say. Snowy Elk is the local roaster. Unfortunately, they don't have a coffee shop. See, that's exactly like the local roaster here. They don't have a coffee shop, but they roast coffee. And you know, sometimes if that's what you have, it doesn't make it any better coffee because they have a coffee shop. To be honest, I feel like sometimes when they specialize in roasting and they really put an emphasis on roasting, it is definitely it's definitely takes it to the next level. I feel like we have a local coffee shop that they do roasting, and their coffee is not as good as this company I've partnered with that all they do is roasting. So sometimes when they specialize in just roasting, it is worth it. All right, you guys have heard me talk for 35 minutes. That is a long time to be talking. I think I'm going to close out. Remember to check out freeandontheroad.com. Make sure you like this live and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate that. I am going to try to do coffee lives at least once or twice a week. Next week is Thanksgiving. I will try to hop on Monday, but if I can't, I will definitely be here someday. I'll come on at least one day next week, so we can have one coffee chat at least. But I'll try to be on at least one day a week. I'd like to shoot for 3, but obviously I couldn't even make it this week 3 times with all the holidays and all the events that happen. Anyway, go to my website, freeandontheroad.com. Enter for this month's coffee giveaway. It has directions there on how to enter. Handcrafted mug from KJ Wood and Clay, and a bag of coffee, Wachota from Round Mountain Coffee, which is amazing. Scott roasted all over there, and he does a great job. I have their Pinnacle blend in my coffee grinder today, which was spectacular. That's what I had as my cortado this morning. So anyway, I think that is it. Like, follow, subscribe. If you want to donate, I have a Buy Me a Coffee link in all of my videos that you can donate. Anything that you donate helps grow this channel. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. If I don't see you before Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, and enter the drawing. Keep on brewing.